in. Still very impressive result on the other side. Team of very experienced players from Germany. He's always been here on the competitive scene over the last years, I would say, and just missing out on an opportunity like this would be just a shame for him, especially because on Friday, as mentioned, he was on the World Qualifying Points playoff to make his chance, and here, okay.
And Fougalos has been activated during the draw phase in order to play around the Kewl synchro, since we didn't have at the points a monster in the field in order to chain in the Fougalos for at least providing one synchro without providing a draw. And a start from team with normal summon Ghost Ogre in order to enable JJ Kewl, and I think it's not the best start.
Yeah, I mean, in general, when you see the JJ, you really wish to go for one of your Kewl monster. I feel like, especially this weekend, this is the first Kewl mirror match we're going to be seeing. It is definitely a deck that throughout the Swiss rounds, I think we only see it a couple of times. The deck is still super consistent. It's in the top cut, is well represented as well. And of course, here the Harmonia paired up with the Impermanence. What an opening from Alex.
Yeah, Harmonia, Impermanence, and Fougalos.
And Fallen. Okay. Is there any other response from Alex here? Doesn't seem like it.
So just to clarify things, the effect of Rico to add was activated, Harmonia was changed to the effect of Rico, then Impermanence in order to also negate rather than destroy with the effect of Harmonia was activated, and team has answered with Fallen and the Virtues in order for Rico to leave the field and Imperma could not resolve properly.
Well played here by team, which may feel like he did start with a kind of a slow hand, because as mentioned, he went for Ogre. With the JJ, you usually want to go for a Kewl monster. The good thing is he already put an Entrap in the graveyard, which means that later on with the remix, if that's gonna be the case, he can also take it back. And with Rotary, I think he revealed another one. Didn't get
Ghost Bell.
Okay, the Ghost Bell. Okay.
And now we're going to provide the first draw to Alex in the form of probably the Kewl track maker. And now we will be able to look at the hand with effect of Rotary and also add a card with track maker.
This is going to resolve. Let's see here how team wants to play this one out. Let's of course keep in mind that he can also go through another extra normal summon. Let's see if he wants to go, for example, for the Q. It really depends on the last remaining card in team's hand, but also he needs to keep in mind that Alex activated the Fougalos. So let's have a look. Kewl Synchro and Ghost Bell, not bad.
And I think it is one of those scenarios that you are in a quiet spot, because if you stop right now to comboing off, since you are under Fougalos, Alex has already very strong engine pieces in his hand, so you need to commit a little bit more. However, Alex may draw more hand traps in order to stop you from advancing your plays. So I think team is in a very bad spot. However, he's here for a reason. He has been in this scenario again, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to find a way to drive through this.
He searched for another Kewl Synchro, which make me think that he wants to take this one a little bit slower, which I think makes sense, especially because, as you said, he can't really stop. But stopping doesn't mean that he necessarily have to continue in his third, meaning that, of course, with W Kewl Synchro, he can continue this in Alex's third. It feels like a little bit weak. Okay, here in the end phase, he's going to search the Fallen and the Virtues. He has follow-up for sure. It's not going to be easy because Alex hand is nice, actually. It also depends on what he's going to draw. And yeah, seems like play is back.
Did we add two Kewl Synchro
with
Rotary and
exactly.
Track Maker?
Yes, and yes, 2 copies. And the Fallen and the Virtues.
And the Fallen. And we don't know in the hand, right? Because
no, we don't know that.
We revealed Bell, but we use it as synchro material.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So normal summoning Q as a straight up move from Alex. And we know in his hand a Ghost Bell and also a copy of his own Kewl Synchro.
Let's also keep in mind, just as a reminder, that the top 8 doesn't have a clock. So both of our duelists will be playing without, you know, maybe playing also with the time, meaning to be careful about that. And here comes the Kilton Synchro being activated in response to Q's effect. Let's see if Alex here wants to chain his own one, if that's the case.
It's definitely the card that you want to have in the mirror. And we have the Magnamut. So probably we want to have Magnamut on the field. And we are going to use the Ghost Bell on the effect of Magnamut that targeted Albion in the graveyard.
Well, Magnamut last card in hand is not bad. It's
yeah, I mean, even if he stays in the hand
yeah.
for the next turn. And we can add in this scenario, for example, Rico and go to Zalen.
Yeah, you can
Maybe.
go Rico, go Zalen, or Mix. Let's see what he had. Yeah, okay, he had
Go
Mix.
Loudonsgore. Yeah, and also that, and we can activate the effect mixed to destroy the Q, and have Loudonsgore to activate again the effect.
For your information, in case you're also following from home, on the backup future match that you can follow on our YouTube channel. So Paul Robert just won game 1, so the pressure is on Guillaume now, who needs to come back from the branded player. And here, in the meantime, we have, I think Tim's just reflecting on this.
I think that we are debating about how to resolve the effect of mix in both fields.
Yeah.
Because from the side of Alex, it was activated to add a Kewl monster that is not a 2-star, and from the effect of Tim, it utilized the effect that when it is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, Team can target a monster and destroy it. So we activate the effect of mix, probably targeting Q or the copy of mix, because if Alex decides to add, for example, Rico, he will not be able to access easily, at least, an RS. So I believe in this scenario it's better to destroy the mix that is on the field.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
you just get rid of it. Oh, okay, it was the other way around. At the end of the day, I feel like this is still fine.
So we activate the effect of mix to destroy Q, and we also activated the effect of track maker, that when it is used as a synchro material, you can return one card your opponent control to the hand. So Pegasus will be activated in the graveyard. So it says the effect that you can ban this card, then target one card your opponent control and shuffle it into the deck when a card it is destroyed by card effect. And nice call from Alex that sent Pegasus to the effect of Harmonia. And I believe right now we need to find access to Rotary, and we have also Rico, which is quite important. However, since Tim has still had the Fallen the Virtues, he can destroy the Rico even after the add, and I believe that we will need the field spell or to utilize the copy of Kewl Synchro that we have in the hand,
Yeah.
and try to synchro summon right away.
I mean, as mentioned, It really feels like team needs to find a way to deal with Alex's, because essentially with the Fallen of the Virtues and the other Kultun Synchron on the field, we know the Magna Mode in hand. It may be not much. It really depends on also last card that we don't know of from Alex's hand.
I believe that the unknown card was the Rotary, right? Or the Rico, one of those two.
One of those two.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think his hand is Kultun Synchro, Mix, Rotary, that was just utilized for another copy of Trackmaker. And since Alex has not summoned his own Trackmaker this turn, he will activate the effect to add also effect of Rotary to look at the hand and add a card, and also the effect of Rico to destroy one spell trap in the form of the Fallen of the Virtues. Fallen of the Virtues will be activated to target Trackmaker, and we will send Kultun Synchro in order to utilize the Trackmaker for a Synchro summon.
And yeah, here also going to be chaining the other copy of Kultun Synchro to Alex's one. I mean, yeah, I think it makes sense, right? Because you cannot really wait. Yeah, you get to search the queue.
Do you go here though for Zalen, or you prefer to break something like, for example, your own Loudness War?
I mean, it feels like the Loudness War may be a good one.
Or also this, which is very nice play from Alex. So Kultun Synchro does not require you to add a monster in order for you to Synchro summon. If you have already a name, you can just add, for example, JJ Kultun the field spell, and then advance to a Synchro summon and bring Loudness Gore in order to also play around the Fallen of the Virtues.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the right move, no? To go for the Loudness War, indeed. It's just...
And right now the effect of Trackmaker will be activated, that since it was utilized for a Synchro material, I believe, and the effect of Rotary was activated also to add the... It was no, this Kultun Synchro. And we add Kultun Synchro and the Rico to the hand. The effect of Trackmaker was of Clip was activated to banish the RS, and JJ Kultun is activated to provide also an additional normal summon. Rico has been summoned, and we will activate the effect of JJ Kultun, probably to special summon from the deck. We have not still accessed our battle phase, right?
No, we've not. That's the thing. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, I'm just thinking whether team may have played this out differently, but regardless of the way you play it, I think it's never gonna be sufficient. You know what I mean? Like you have a couple of interruptions, but for the way the game is shaping, I think it's already something that you're still in this one, to be fair, given Alex's end.
Yeah, let's not forget that he had Fugalos, Impermanence and Harmonia.
Exactly. I mean, here there's the Gultun Synchro, so most likely he can seal this one out. I think he added the Q, so now he's going for the level 5. We are still, remember, we're still in battle phase. Yeah, going for the remix, and it's just...
Is remix
yeah, the RS
RS?
and
Yeah.
the RS. Yeah, still, yes.
Yeah,
Still enough, yeah. So, yeah, Alex's take game 1, but I mean, as mentioned, I really feel like his end was way too good. It was just the Fuvalos paired up with the Impermanence and the Harmonia. Although... Gospel. Yeah, I mean...
Q and Kewl Synchro.
It was way too good, honestly. Yeah. I feel like Tim tried, as you mentioned, I think it would have been just, you know, letting your opponent draw too many cards. If you play under Fuvalos, it's just too risky in the mirror match, especially because you didn't really have much, you know, gas going on. At the end of the day, I think it makes sense to just slow things down a little bit. You put 2 cool Synchro and the Fallen of the Virtues in the end phase. And you hope that somehow this can work out. Then, of course, there's also the top deck being drawn by your opponent. I don't really feel like, you know, for the way the game has been played out, it could have been different.
Yeah, I mean, Team committed to one only draw to activate the effect of Rotary and have a look at his opponent's hand. However, it was one of those scenarios that since he had both Q and the Kewl Synchro, you needed to commit some draws also to under Fugalos. In another way, for example, if he had only Q or only Kewl Synchro, he could have just stopped there and just passed turn, since he had some defense on his own in the form of, for example, of Kewl Synchro that could access Loudness War or any interruption in the form of, for example, Mix to destroy a monster, and also Fallen and the Virtues, which is very important when facing Kewl. However, when you have both a starter and an extender, things are not very good for you.
No, I mean, absolutely. And now it's going to be all about the side decks and see how our players are going to be playing this one out. Let's see, because essentially one of our 2 duelists is 1 game away from going to Japan. Team really wants to come back into this one. We will soon find out because our players are ready. Let's go into game 2.
And right now, I believe that Alex just wants to do exactly the same that he already did, while Team just hopes that his hand can be a little better, because let's not forget that he started with JJ and normal summon Ghost Ogre.
Yeah, that was a little bit underwhelming, to say the least. Usually use the JJ, top it up with other Gultun Synchron cards. That was not the case, but let's see. This time around, Team start things off with the Rotary, revealing Veiler.
Do you believe that there's another name in his hand and Veiler was just a bait?
I mean, okay, there's the Duelist Genesis. Yeah, okay. I would have been shocked, honestly, if there wasn't. I mean, sometimes it can happen. That's why I also really like the interruptions of playing the Visas Arbitrare in the extra deck, so that you can go for the reframing. Yeah, now here gets the Gultun Synchro. It really depends if here Alex also has any interruption.
And I like the fact that he activated the effect of Rotary first, because he could play potentially around Fugalos also, because if Alex has changed in the resolution, for example, the effects to activate Fugalos, or even draw in the effect of Duelist Genesis, we could change the effect of Kewl Synchro and provide us, for example, for a Synchro Summon, and in the form of actually find, for example, NRS.
So here is going to, for the track maker, gonna be also using the Rotary. And I think here Alex is thinking whether to respond or not.
So I believe it is chain link 1 rotary and chain link 2 trackmaker. And I think we're going to utilize the Ghost Ogre.
Okay, interesting.
It is one of those cards that during national season didn't see a lot of play in the Kewl tune strategy, only as an one-off in order to play around for Land of the Albas, for example. But right now, due to Chaos Origin that has enabled new strategies like the Light and Darkness Ritual, which Ghost Ogre is very, very good. And it is one of those scenarios that Ghost Ogre has been again in the meta, and people are kinda trying to see in which matchups is really good, and I believe that against Yugioh it can take you off guard, right?
You know, I also really feel like during national season, Ghost Ogre was one of those cards that, in my opinion, should have been at least in either the main deck or in the side deck. There were some players, I remember also during Fresh Nationals, there was a different trend of playing 2 JJ, so that really changed in like a month. But Ghost Ogre really feels like in general one copy is at least okay in the main deck so that you can have access if needed to it. And as you mentioned, like with the shift of metagame, especially with Chaos Origins, it really feels like a good card to have in the main deck, you know? And then of course adjusting with the side deck just to provide you a little bit more of gas.
And we have summoned Q that was answered by Ghost Bell. And I believe that team is quite in a difficult spot right now, but we have the JJ tune to answer the 2 interruptions, and Ghost Ogre would be very good against it in this scenario especially. So we activate the effect of JJ tune to tribute summon the Q that was negated through the effect of Ghost Bell, and we summon Recall that add mix, I believe. We will utilize the additional normal provided by JJ tune in order to normal summon mix to add Q in the hand. And do we go here for a mix maybe? So I think right now team is debating about which synchro to synchro summon, and he will go for a mix in order to gain more resources back in Alex's turn and also have a look at the top deck. And it is Fugalos and a mix.
Sometimes also the Fugalos, it's true that, you know, may not be the ideal card, but there's of course the use of the extra deck and other summons during your own turn that, you know, so it's not obvious, you know, to banish the Fugalos, you know what I mean? In fact, team is thinking about it. It's not too obvious, that's the thing. He knows Alex's hand, he knows that he has starters, so the mix, it's okay, but yeah, I mean, it's considering it, and indeed is banishing the Fugalos. Because as mentioned, there's occasions in which the Fugalos can be at least a +1. Most of the time it's gonna be maybe a +0, meaning that you draw a card, and then most of the time it's just a +1. So I think it makes a lot of sense to just get rid of it.
Yeah, it is one of those matchups that even as a 6th card, Fugalos can be utilized and provide 1 to 2 draws or even more when facing Yugioh, for example. And Prosperity is one of those cards that post side deck seem very scary because it can provide all those trap cards that you may have entered from the side deck, since you are going through all the engine already and you're just trying to dig into your deck and find all those answers from the side deck that you have side in during the game 2.
Here, Pot of Prosperity from team. Let's see what is going to reveal. Maybe some hand traps. Okay, there's a lot of variety. And
we have a lot of options. So right now I believe that team is looking for a non-engine piece like Fallen the Virtus or Harmonia. And I think those are the cards that he's debating about probably.
Yeah, tough spot for him. You can tell that he's really thinking deeply about this choice. Not gonna be easy. He's debating whether to take the Harmonia.
I believe his choice is between Harmonia and Fallen the Virtuous. It is one of those scenarios that if you make the wrong decision, you are going to think about it for the rest of months and thinking.
If not for the rest of your life, I would say.
If not for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I really feel like if there's one match where you are playing the match of your life, is this one. Also, like with the change of how the tournament is structured compared to last year, like the top 64, of course, you get prizes for it, which is great. But at the end of the day, you're just from the main event into top cut, just immediately. And you don't even have time to realize it, that it's either in or out. So, you know, winner takes all. And I feel like also the only player, you know, in the room who already qualified is Danilo. And I feel like he is the one who has the less pressure. That's how it is. He's playing with no pressure. He's already qualified. He's in top 8, which is great. I think it's his third top 8 in the season.
I had the pleasure to make an interview with him after round 14, if I recall correctly, and he told me that it's the first tournament after a very long time that he just plays to have fun. And this shows how much pressure these players have right now in top 8, that they are one match away from granting this invite, these tickets to Japan and to the World Championship.
Yeah, you know, last time someone played for fun and was already qualified, what happened? I won the European Championship. I was actually on your same chair the turn before. So
and undefeated, right?
Yeah, it's still, his record is still there. So yeah, it's still there. So
you're talking about his name is Marcello, I believe.
I think his name Marcello. Yes, we should call him Marcelo. We're in Brussels, so I don't know if it counts, but yeah. I mean, no. I mean, at the end of the day, like, of course, now we will have the pleasure, of course, to see Danilo after this top 8, because we will be streaming as well the 2 other top 8 matches where, you know, Danilo will be there, and it will be very interesting to see the invoked deck in action. But to stay focused on this one, I'd say that, you know, the Kewl mirror match has always been very difficult over the last weeks, especially during national season. I remember at French nationals, most of it were Kewl. It was the deck that, you know, after some time shifted through branded. I don't know, I really felt like that at this tournament, after a long time, the trend has shifted a little bit, meaning Kewl is still there, super consistent, very good. But on the other hand, I felt like I've seen so many more branded decks throughout day 1 and day 2, and also Friday, we can include, that especially because branded is now in the Light and Darkness ritual, you know?
Yes.
So, I'm really curious to see if in the end Kewl will take the European Championship. But one thing is for sure is that we have Tim, who I had the pleasure to commentate on when I was in French Nationals, and he lost in top 8. So that would be really a heartbreaking story. So he really wants to redeem himself and fight back into this one, because his opponent is not gonna give him an easy time.
I mean, it is for sure that if you are here in the top 8 match, obviously you're not going to give to your opponent an easy time, right? And I believe right now, Team, it is in an advantageous spot. However, Alex has a lot of resources in his hand that Team should not overlook. And we are start things off with the effect of Rotary, revealing Rico in hand. Do you believe that we are going to try to find access into RS right now?
I think it makes sense here to chain the Kewl Synchro, because it gives you just now the opportunity, yeah, exactly, to take the mix and perform another Synchro Summon, and you go to RS. I think it makes a lot of sense, yeah.
And now we can activate Chainlink 1 Rico, Chainlink Mix to destroy, and Chainlink 3 probably RS to negate Rico. or we can just let it go through and just play around, for example, for a Kewl synchro, and let Rico resolve, since we have already activated the effect of rotary in the hand.
Can also do that, yeah.
Yeah, and just wait for the extender, for example, right now with Kewl synchro that has been activated.
Oh, okay. There's been the effect Veiler being activated by Tim.
So this also, I think, makes things more linear, right? In order to not think about where to activate the RS, since we have already the Veiler. And I think Alex right now has a rotary that has already been revealed. And
I think he's gonna scope.
yeah.
Yeah, well played by Tim here, and we're going to a game 3. I mean, I think we gotta give credit to him because I think he really played it out carefully. Of course, getting to know your opponents and at the beginning with the rotary gives you the advantage. It is also true that Alex only had one entrap. So, of course, that gives you the advantage to just go through your combo, set up your Kewl synchro, and then, as you mentioned, he also went for the RS just in case, but you know, that was paired up with the effect Veiler. Game 3, to decide who's going to be advantage to Worlds. So,
Do you feel any pressure?
no, not at all. I think it's just going to be easy. You know, a piece of
Another
cake.
day local, right?
Yeah, another day local. You know, there's no pressure on our duelists. But, you know, like, you really got to be feeling the tension. There's a huge crowd here watching not only this match, but also Yugioh and Paul Robert on the other stream that are battling it out. I can tell you in a Kewl branded match, they're currently on game 2, so it's very tense. But it's great to see, honestly, that, you know, so far we have seen so many different decks and, you know, duelists in action this weekend. I really feel like the competition has been great, you know. It's the level is always higher and higher, and they're just showing up this season to be one of the best, you know, we've ever seen, especially because, like, there's Danilo, who has had 3 top 8 appearances, which is insane. There's also Tim, top 8 the French nationals, top 8 here. You know, it's really shaping up very well, and you know, can you imagine now being one game away to going for Worlds?
Yeah, I cannot even imagine this feeling, meaning you have all the pressure on you right now because both players are one game away from grabbing this golden ticket. And I believe it is one of those scenarios that both games were very back and forth, a lot of skill expression, a lot of interactions, and I really love the fact that both players are trying to play as safe as possible in order not to overextend, not to make a mistake, always respecting their opponent. And I understand that both players are very, very good at this. They have been prepared the whole season for this moment. It is their moment right now. It is their moment to grant one of the world's competitor, and I believe this is their time, and this is their time is now, and let's go back to the table because our players are ready.
The time is now, and let's see who's going to be advancing to the top 4 and gaining their spot to go to Tokyo, Japan for the World Championship next summer. Alex is cutting things off, and we immediately see a Full being activated by Tim.
I think it is one of those cards that you really want to see when you are one game away from the Japan, from the World Championship. And I think Alex has not a response to Fugalos that has been activated in the draw phase. Exactly like game 1, right?
Exactly like game 1, yeah.
And we see normal summon of Q without an effect in order to play around Fugalos, and we are going to activate Duelist Genesis. So we are considering to add the Kewl Synchro. And are we going to activate it, or are we going to set it? We're going to activate it, and it will be answered with Ash Blossom directly. So Tim looks a lot of confident right now, and he's going to wait for Alex to banish, I believe, 6 cards in any case right now with the Prosperity in order to try to find any answer that can help him from his side deck against Team, who has currently 3 cards in the hand. However, Fugalos is already been resolved.
Yeah, the Pot of Prosperity here is nice because it's gonna give Alex, of course, the chance to look up the top 6 cards, and depending on what he needs, he can just either set up, if that's the case, a potential Kilton Synchro for the turn after, if he can really fetch one, or in case continue. We will soon find out. This is a very, very important Pot of Prosperity for Alex.
And at this point, what would you want to see? More engine or something from the side deck?
Also something from the side deck would not be bad at all.
Not the best, right?
It's
we have already activated the Duelist Genesis. We have 2 Valor and Permanents, which not the best, not the worst. They're quite there. We have Rico, but I don't believe that we have a Rotary or JJ in the hand in order to grant the additional normal summon. And we're just going to get 1 Valor from the deck to the hand.
It feels a bit weak. It feels a bit weak. Looks as if it was really missing 1 piece, honestly.
Definitely not the card that you want to see.
No, because here, of course, like, you can go for the Track Maker, but if somehow Team is gonna stop the Track Maker now, it's a lot of trouble.
We can chain block Track Maker and have an Illusion Gate.
I can tell you that, of course, the Illusion Gate, is gonna be banished
immediately.
Without even thinking about it. And the Ash Blossom, is it gonna go on top or on bottom? Because also there is something that needs to be considered, because like if you're gonna give Tim the Ash Blossom, in either case, either he's gonna do it now with the Fugalos or for turn, it can be impactful, to be fair, because now you also want to go for the Kilton Synchro.
Yeah, I believe that Ash Blossom, it will be definitely utilized because Alex, if I can understand correctly, and it is on the top, right?
I think he put it on top.
Yeah. It could be utilized to answer a potential Kilton Synchro, for example, from Alex's side.
You know, it's a tough decision to be taken here by Alex, because like if you're giving back the Ash, which feels right, I'm just afraid that could be helpful for Team at some point. It really depends here if Alex wants to extend this.
Yeah, and the problem with Kilton is if they do not generate any info, for example, if Ash Blossom is sent to the bottom of the deck, you have to generate 0 info from your opponent. Yes, and you just passed.
It's just passed. Okay.
And
so
Team
we know
now
the
has 4 cards in the hand, and 1 is Ash Blossom. Do we have a strong? And we have the Q.
Q is a very, very good one to start things off with for Team. And
something that you want to see. Are we going to answer?
Is there an Harmonia? Because he could have taken Harmonia as well. Yeah, there's the Harmonia from Alex, because that was revealed and was not taken by him. So the Harmonia is there.
Do you believe that since Harmonia was not added from the Prosperity, that Team has already read behind it?
It is something for sure that he could have considered, just because he took the Veiler, which of course was needed to make the Track Maker, so it was maybe missing a piece. But at the end of the day, Harmonia really feels like one of those entries that in the mirror match really makes the difference.
Yeah, but here we can just summon, for example, Rico and just add the Rotary, right?
I think you just add the Rotary.
Yeah. And you have a Rotary with us in the hand.
It also depends on if Team has any other
extent in any case.
But like potentially by not knowing the hand, you could go Rico search Rotary, and then Rotary has easy access, to a Synchro. So he decides to go for Mix, which at the end of the day makes sense anyways. But there was the Malong that has been sent by Harmonious Effect to the graveyard, that you can bounce back 1 monster your opponent control.
And yet we go for Rotary, and with Rotary we can just reveal Ash Blossom in the hand. and I think that we are still good to go if Alex does not have any more responses or another name in the form of mix. So we summon Rotary, and we have Mix as Blossom and one unknown, right, in the hand.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Of course, the team revealed the mix that has been bounced back with the Malong, so that you're not giving your opponent any other resources. But now you go for the clip. Yeah,
and you have the clip in order to activate the effect that it is in either's player in opponent's main phase. If this card is in the hand, quick effect, you can special summon this card, then immediately after this effect resolves, you can synchro summon. And I think that we can access Loudness Score here and utilize the effect of Trackmaker when it is utilized as a synchro material that can return, for example, Rotary in the hand. And if team does not have another extender, either a Kewl Tune Synchro or JT Kewl Tune, he might be in a tough spot. So probably we'll activate Chainlink 1 Trackmaker, Chainlink 2 Clip.
yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense just because now you're gonna give back the Rotary to Tim's hand, and it's just gonna be a matter of does Tim have any other way to further extend this.
I think there is one unknown card in his hand, if I have counted correctly. It is Rotary, as Blossom, Mix, and the unknown.
Yeah. It passed. Oh wow. Tim passed back to Alex, which now he has a huge chance. Let's see if he can capitalize on this. It's just it could be.
I mean,
moves away.
We know that it is Mix, Rotary, so we need to play around as Blossom and any potential friend.
There was Bell.
Oh, and it was Bell. So we have full knowledge right now. We just need to play around an As Blossom, and I think that we're in a very good spot for Alex. So we will utilize the effect of Loudness Score by banishing Q. And we have also our own copy of Clip in the hand. And we are going to access the second copy of Trackmaker, since the one was already banished through the effect of Clip. And it is Harmonia and As Blossom. So the effect of Loudness Score by banishing Q to copy her effect was activated, and we put As Blossom in the top deck, right?
Yeah, and put As Blossom on the top.
Effect of Trackmaker will be activated in the effect of Mix to destroy. And we also have Clip to banish, right?
And we also have Clip, exactly, yes. Let's see what is going to get banished, the back-to-back.
Yeah, it was that was a very good hit. So since Loudness Score can, it is the only card that can be destroyed in the fields of Alex, was targeted through the effect of Mix and has been sent to the graveyard. And do you believe that Tim right now needs to just keep his As Blossom in order to deny Kewl Tune Synchro, in order to at least play around the damage that can be populated during the battle phase?
Yeah, because the Ghost Bell that we didn't know of is great, and he managed to hang in there thanks to the Clip, which was in hand. And at the same time, of course, we know that the Ash Blossom is also there. So it's from a potential situation where Alex could have taken advantage, the Ghost Bell itself just stopped the Reco, and I think Alex passed.
He
passed to Tim. He passed back to Tim. And here Tim knows... oh, wow. What a window here. Would you have ever imagined? There's the Ash Blossom, but
And I think Alex has no more cards in the hand, right?
There's no more interruptions, and here you can really feel like Tim feels the moment.
And we know rotary in hand, if I recall correctly.
We know rotary in hand, absolutely. Yeah. We know rotary. There's Ash Blossom as well, which we are aware of. And Alex is just left defenseless.
So I think that team right now it is some moves away from big crown with this golden ticket to the World Championship, and Ash Blossom will be utilized with Trackmaker in order to make Zalen.
And yeah, here I think Tim just sees the window, because with the back-to-back, or now also with the Q potentially, just let's have a look at this top deck from Alex. Yeah, you're just gonna banish the Reko, you're gonna put the Ash Blossom on top.
And deny any form of resources.
You enter battle phase.
And you attack both of monsters, and you just keep it slow, have Alex draw his Ash Blossom, and if I have understood correctly, there are no more resources in the form of Alex, and I believe that team is in a very, very good spot right now.
He's gonna deal some damage here. Alex is just left the top deck with the Ash Blossom, and you can really see Team feeling the momentum.
And I think right now team is few minutes away from being crowned with this invite, this prestigious invite to the World Championship and to the Japan. Ash Blossom has been drawn from Alex, he already knew, and I think that he's considering to just set Ash Blossom, and turn has been just passed back to Team. Team has drawn a card for his turn, and it will activate the effect of Rotary. Reko will be signed, and I think we are ready to send our first player to the World Championship.
We are just moves away from Team claiming this. It's just gonna destroy the monster, and Team Grefe goes to Tokyo, Japan. What a match this has been. All of his friends are cheering him out. What a match, honestly. What a comeback for Team. Super well deserved.
Would you believe that a player that passed back in turn 3 with an empty field would finally get this win and advance to the World Championship and also to the top 4 of this European Championship 2026?
If you just think the team was sitting on the worst playoff on Friday and he missed on that opportunity, I was talking to him and he goes, there's still the main event, I'm gonna do it. First after Swiss, qualified for the World Championship, honestly.
A man of his word.
Yeah, man of his word, absolutely. We gotta tell him, and he kept the promise. And not only that, he's in the semi-final of the World Championship. What a show-off this has been! Congratulations. Of course, on the other hand, also congratulations to his opponent. I mean, what a match this has been! What a performance! What a run! Top 8 at the European Championship. But on the other side, finally, Team hugging his friends. It has been an incredible adventure for him. I mean, this season it's been great, you know, qualifying and going to events, Opens, Nationals, gaining points, making to the Friday playoff. What a match this has been. But also, if you're following our stream, you also saw that there's someone else who's going to Worlds. Paul Robert Goss has just claimed a 2-0 victory against Yugioh Maron, and so we have already our first 2 names of the main event going to Tokyo, Japan. Wow, so we have a Branded and a Kewl advancing into top 4.
And this is what I was expecting when we saw this event, and we discussed as casters, and we had our predictions. I believe that Kewl and Brand will both be very representative and be here in the European Championship trying to claim this trophy. And I cannot even imagine how prestigious it is for these guys to be not only potential world champions, but also potential European champions at the same time.
It must be an amazing feelings for him, but you know, after hours and hours of testing throughout the whole season, you come to this point, you know, you have been testing a lot with your friends and you have prepared enough for the tournament. And then at the end of the day, this happens, you know, like you're always hoping for the best. But would you have ever imagined that after, you know, missing out on an opportunity, because it's a short tournament. When you go to the playoff, it's just 4 rounds, and then if you don't go potentially undefeated or X1 and you do not make it to the top, that's it. You know, it's just a small tournament. You cannot afford to lose 2 matches, and you're playing among the 16 best duelists of the entire season. You know,
of the continent. Yeah,
it's just an insane tournament. And on the other side, you showed up with the same deck at the main event, and you went X2. So it's an amazing record, honestly. And it's great, honestly. It's been cheered up by his friends and everyone, and this has to be the way it needs to go. So congratulations for Tim and also for Paul, because they're both going to Japan. And so at the moment, 2 Germans will be representing, you know, Yugioh at the World Championship. So great performance by them.
And I want to showcase how important this match is. It is one of those matches during the whole weekend that you are expecting for it. You are waiting for it as a player, and sometimes it feels more, you know, that we have the pressure more than a final, right? Because if you see these guys right now, they are all cheering up. They all want it so much for this because, yes, for a final you're prepared for it for the whole weekend. However, for this chance to be crowned a world champion and be invited to the World Championship, it takes you a whole year.
No, I mean, can you imagine? Like, as you mentioned, I think I kind of agree that this is the match that has the most tension among the ones of the top card. Of course, when you're going to be playing the semi-finals and potentially the final, of course, it's you know, quite you know, it's something. But at the same time, it's something that you really have to think of, no? Like, you really want to go to the World Championship, and at the end of the day, it's, you know, the match you really want to win, and played it out. So hopefully we will get the chance to hear it soon. And guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't go anywhere, because we will be back soon with more content, and hopefully have Tim on stream with Dale. Keep watching.